You know what's strange? Some of the people with the highest IQ spend years believing there's something wrong with them, not because they aren't intelligent, because intelligence rarely feels intelligent from the inside. It feels like overthinking. It feels like questioning yourself. It feels like lying awake at 2 a.m., replaying a conversation everyone else forgot. It feels like needing time alone and not knowing why. It feels like seeing things you can't quite explain to anyone else. And because none of those experiences look like intelligence, many intelligent people grow up assuming they're simply different, maybe too sensitive, too quiet, too serious, too lost in their own head. But psychology keeps finding something fascinating. Many of the traits people spend years trying to fix about themselves are surprisingly common among highly intelligent minds. And the strangest part? Most people never realize it. Today we're exploring 10 signs psychology has linked to exceptionally intelligent people. And by the end of this video, you may discover that some of the things you've criticized yourself for weren't flaws at all. They were clues. Number 1. You often feel like you're watching conversations instead of joining them. Have you ever noticed how quickly some people respond? Someone says something, and immediately they know exactly what they think about it, exactly how they feel, exactly what they want to say next. Meanwhile, you're still processing. Not because you weren't paying attention, because you were paying attention to everything. The words, the tone, the hesitation before the words, the expression that flashed across someone's face for half a second, the thing they said, and the thing they almost said. While everyone else moved on, your mind stayed behind for a moment, trying to understand what was really happening. This is one of the most misunderstood experiences highly intelligent people describe. They often feel slower in conversations, not because they're slow thinkers, because they're processing more information than most people realize exists. From the outside, it looks like silence. From the inside, it feels like 100 tiny calculations happening at once. And when they finally speak, people sometimes wonder how they noticed something everyone else missed. The answer is simple. They never stopped observing. Number 2. You question yourself more than people who know less than you. This one feels deeply unfair, because confidence and intelligence are supposed to go together. At least that's what we're told. But real life often looks very different. Have you ever been surprisingly unsure about something you actually understood well, while someone else sounded completely certain despite barely knowing what they were talking about? Psychologists have observed this pattern for decades. The more deeply people understand a subject, the more aware they become of everything they don't know. Every answer reveals another question. Every certainty reveals another possibility. Every conclusion reveals another angle, which means intelligent people often live with a strange kind of uncertainty, not because they are confused, because they can see complexity where others only see simplicity, and sometimes that can be exhausting. Number 3, you replay conversations long after everyone else forgot them. It's late at night, you're trying to sleep, and suddenly your brain decides now would be the perfect time to revisit a conversation from 3 years ago. A sentence, a look, a moment, something small, something everyone else probably forgot by the next morning. But somehow your mind didn't. And no matter how many times it happens, it still feels strange. Why does my brain keep doing this? Why can't I just let things go? Psychology suggests the answer may be more complicated than simple overthinking. Highly intelligent minds are constantly searching for patterns, trying to understand people, motives, outcomes, hidden meanings. Number 4, you often leave social situations feeling exhausted even when you enjoyed yourself. This confuses many intelligent people for years, because they genuinely like people. They like conversations. They like connection. Yet after a few hours, they feel drained. Have you ever left a gathering full of people you cared about, closed the door behind you, and immediately felt relief? Not because anything was wrong, because your brain finally got a chance to rest. Number 5, you become obsessed with understanding things, not memorizing, not collecting facts, understanding. There's a difference. Have you ever noticed how difficult it is for you to accept a simple answer? Someone explains something, everyone else nods, conversation over. But your mind isn't finished. It immediately asks, what if we've been looking at it the wrong way the entire time? This is something highly intelligent people often experience. Number 6, you notice inconsistencies that other people miss. Have you ever had a moment where something immediately felt wrong, but nobody else seemed to notice? A story doesn't quite add up. Someone's words don't match their actions. An explanation sounds convincing, but something about it feels incomplete. Most people experience these moments occasionally. For highly intelligent people, it happens constantly. Their brains are always comparing information. Number 7, you are comfortable saying, I don't know. This one surprises people because most of us grow up believing intelligence means having answers. But have you ever noticed that the smartest people you've met often sound less certain than everyone else? They don't rush to conclusions. They don't pretend to know things they don't. They don't feel the need to win every argument. Instead, they're willing to say something many people struggle to admit, I don't know. And strangely enough, that takes confidence, because most people fear uncertainty. Intelligent people learn to live with it. Number 8, you change your mind when new evidence appears. Have you ever believed something completely, only to discover later that you were wrong, and instead of defending your old belief, you changed it? For many people, that's difficult, because beliefs become part of identity. Changing your mind feels like losing, like admitting failure, like surrendering. But highly intelligent people often see beliefs differently, not as permanent truths, as working theories, temporary maps, the best explanation available right now, which means when better information arrives, they adjust the map. Psychologists call this cognitive flexibility. Number 9, you often feel alone in ways that are difficult to explain. This isn't the kind of loneliness people usually talk about. It's possible to have friends, a family, people who genuinely care about you, and still feel it. Have you ever finished a conversation and felt strangely empty? Not because it was unpleasant, because it never went where your mind wanted it to go. Everyone talked, everyone laughed, everyone participated, but nobody seemed interested in the deeper layer, the question beneath the question, the meaning beneath the story, the pattern beneath the behavior. So you smiled, you joined in, you said all the right things, and yet part of you still felt disconnected. Number 10, you never stop searching. And maybe this is the trait that connects everything else. The observation, the questioning, the overthinking, the curiosity, the loneliness, the endless analysis. At their core, they're all driven by the same thing, a refusal to stop searching. Most people eventually settle into certainty, but highly intelligent people rarely do, because every answer creates another question, every discovery reveals another mystery, every explanation exposes another layer. So they keep reading, keep exploring, keep wondering, keep learning. Not because they're trying to prove they're intelligent, because curiosity has become part of who they are. And maybe that's the biggest misconception about intelligence. Intelligence isn't always visible. It doesn't always look impressive. It doesn't always sound confident. Sometimes it looks like self-doubt. Sometimes it looks like sensitivity. Sometimes it looks like needing time alone. Sometimes it looks like feeling different without knowing why. And maybe that's the strangest thing about it. The things you've spent years criticizing in yourself might not be flaws at all. They might simply be the side effects of seeing the world differently, seeing more possibilities, more questions. That can be exhausting, sometimes lonely, sometimes frustrating, but it can also be a gift, because intelligence was never about having all the answers. It was never about being the loudest person in the room. It was never about proving you're smarter than everyone else. It was always about staying curious enough to keep looking deeper, long after everyone else stopped looking. So if you recognize yourself in some of these signs, don't rush to label yourself a genius. That's not the point. The point is that some of the things you've spent years trying to fix about yourself may never have been broken. And if this resonated with you, let me know which sign felt most familiar. Because chances are you're not as alone in these experiences as you think.